Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Bad Crafts with Rin. I'm Rin, and the crafts aren't always bad. I was just asked this question. What's a bad craft, in my opinion? And it's just a reminder that before you're really good at something, you do have a period of being bad at something. So it's a reminder to my inner perfectionist to not be a whiny baby all the time about not being perfect right out of the gate. Essentially, that's all it is. That's all it is. So, hello, hello, hi, friends. Welcome, Aaron. Welcome, Jack. Jack, you're the reason this is happening. You're the reason because you were making all those notebooks, and I was like, I just got my new stapler. I should make some notebooks. So here we are. So thank you for the inspo. Thank you very much. It's one of my favorite hats. I really do enjoy a cat hat. I really do enjoy a cat hat. Okay, so the goal today is just to work on whatever you want to work on, you know? We're just vibing together. We're co-crafting, we're co-working if you're working, we're we're co-gaming if you're gaming, you know, whatever you're, if we're reading, if you're reading, we're reading, whatever you want to do. So what I have to do today is, in order to use the stapler, which is not on camera other than this, this red, you see, right, that's it right there. That's the stapler right there. It's behind the light pole. So that stapler, I'm going to try to learn how to use it today to make notebooks. And essentially what that stapler is it's a brochure stapler. And it's the kind of stapler that's used to make brochures, catalogs, anything with that like staple binding. Really, absolutely, absolutely, you are an influencer, 100%. That is really how it happened. You know, I mean, it was aided by the fact that I have less than 3 weeks to finish the final 19 streams of 2025. Did I say 8 weeks? Because it's less than 4 weeks. But if I said 4 weeks, why did I think I said 8 weeks? Those are the two questions I have right now. Thank you so much. This hair is like the closest to what my hair is like if I don't mess with it at all. This is my most like natural hair. The dice were kind. You know, they let you have 2 out of 3. They let you have 2 out of 3. So, yeah. But thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, this is kind of where I am naturally. I started out blonde as when I was younger, and then it got darker, and I guess it was like a strawberry blonde, but it got darker and darker until it's more like a reddish brown. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is clean my desk because my desk is messy. Messy desk. Hi, Rose. Welcome. Jack's cold has made an exit. Finally. Finally. Because I felt like it thought it was going to move in for a minute there. So, the first thing I have to do is clean my desk. And then the second thing I have to do is make the notebooks. And then the third thing I can do is learn how to, or, you know, design the notebooks and print the notebooks. And I think I'm going to start with designing and printing the notebooks only because, or mainly because, then they can be printing while I clean the desk. I think that's like a more efficient use of my time. Not that we're optimizing for efficiency necessarily when we're doing bad crafts, but, you know, sometimes you just, you know, printing takes a while. I can either stand at the printer and stare at the wall, or when I have a big printing job, I listen to audiobooks and I just stand there and stare at the wall and move papers. So, like, let's start there. Do you want to see Photoshop? Because I think I can do Photoshop. Let me go check. Yeah, I did set that up. Okay, so you can see Photoshop. I'm just going to leave this here. And then I'm going to work on this. If you can see that flicker, that only happened because I moved the Photoshop window, and it has to kind of follow it around the computer a little bit. Okay. So what I've got up on Photoshop right now is, I think, an 11 by 17 canvas, but I'm going to check it. All right. Okay. But so let's start. Let's make sure we have the correct size. Yeah, 11 by 17. Okay. All right. So my printer prints 13 by 19 in the hand feeder. I forget what the manual feeder. But it will do. It will do 11 by 17 in the drawers. So I have some cream colored 11 by 17 hammer mill that I want to use to make my notebooks. And so I just want to get my lines done. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in quite a bit because just because of streaming shenanigans, and not that you care about my problems exactly, but just because of streaming shenanigans, I have to have the Photoshop window fairly small. So it's a little bit harder for me to see some things. So what I want to do is I want to create my notebooks, and I want to pull the color of my lines from my notebook art. So I'm going to get my paper that I've chosen for my notebooks. And by chosen, I mean like mentally I know which creators' digital designs I want to use for the notebook covers, but I don't know which notebooks I want to use. So I'm trying to think. I'm going to read you some. Let's see. Okay, I've got retro summer. Let's not do that. Abstract geometric could be good. Just to give you an idea of the styles we're talking about, I'll open the abstract geometric files so you can get an idea of like the art style that we're talking about with some of these. Okay, so you can see like what I would do is I would pull the gray for my lines from, from one of these. Or if I wanted to do blue, I could pull the blue. I could pull either the darker blue or the lighter blue. That's kind of how I decide what. I don't know if you can hear the cat screaming. She's got a lot to say. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, I got it. Oh, absolutely. No, so true. Uh-huh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so here's another one. I think we'll go with this one. This one is called Art Nouveau Floral. And essentially what I did is I bought a commercial license to this artist's entire shop. And so anything that I make, I can, ooh, yeah. Let's go, look at these florals. There's a little bit of a sinister vibe to them. Something about them is a little sinister. And I kind of like it, you know. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, you're like, I'm telling you that you're right. Oh, don't step on that. You make me so mad. You make me so mad sometimes. Yeah, you do. You do. When you're in a mood like this, I don't like it when you're in a mood like this. I don't. I don't. I'm so glad. Okay. So, ooh, Emily, nice to see you. I hope editing goes smoothly. Yeah, I think we're going to go with these flowers. Yeah, okay, so the flowers are winning. Now we have had a cat join the chat, as you heard, as you may have noticed. And essentially that just makes my life more difficult because she likes to stomp on the keyboard. All right, so I'm just gonna move these flowers ahead of them. And then when I was going through, there was one I saw, it's this one. This color is the color I'm gonna sample. So I'm just gonna use the eyedropper tool to sample that darker color. And then I can click on this color square here and it'll tell me what color it is, which is, it's purple, which is what I suspected that it was. That'll give me its hex code. And then I can copy that hex code and use it to make shapes. All right, so if I go into the shape tool in Photoshop here, then I can go down to this color swatch here and I can click on this rainbow wheel and then I can paste it in there. Now, sometimes it'll copy it in there for you and sometimes it won't. You know, it's just whether or not it's feeling it that day. And then once I have it copied into the shape tool, what that allows me to do is I can come back to my 11 by 17 and I can make the lines that dark purple color, and that way the lines inside the notebooks will coordinate with the outside the notebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my tool options for my line tool, and I'm going to tell it, what do I want to do? I don't think I'm not going to do it as a line. I'm going to do it as, I really want a 1 millimeter line. That's what I want, 1 mil. But I don't know that I can do size in millimeter. I think I have to do it in inches. So that means I then have to learn. What is 1 millimeter in inches, please?
1 millimeter is 0.0394 inches.
Okay, so Photoshop will give me 3 digits. So I can do, after a decimal point, so I can do 0.039. And I'm just petting the cat with my left hand so that I can use my right hand in Photoshop. And then for height, I know this is 11 inches. So just so that I don't have to be perfect with placement, I'm gonna tell it that I want the lines to be 11.5. Then all I have to do is drop a line, just click on the main thing, click on the canvas, and that'll give me a line. Now that line is looking pretty thick. So now I'm thinking I want 0.05. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 0.015. Now it's partially looking thick because I'm zoomed in, but it's partially looking thick because I think it's just a little bit more than I need. So I could do, to cut it in half, it's really to make it 0.02. Let's try 0.02 and see how we like it. It's looking heavy because of the depth of the color, like how, both how like dark it is, but also how saturated it is because I'm using the full color. So I think we have 2 options. One is now we can play with the, okay. She's standing on the function keys and scrolling it for me. Another reason the crafts are bad is because of this cat. So if you're wondering why the crafts are bad, it can also be because of this cat. So she's now whacking the mouse with her face. So let's try dropping the opacity. Let's see if we like 50% opacity on this. And that'll make it look kind of, okay. You know what? Do you hate me? Is that it? Is that what you do? You hate me, right? Is that it? Okay. Okay, so now we're getting this gray, and sometimes it can be hard to tell with the grid up. So I'm going to pull the grid off. And then another thing that can make it hard to see color is I have a transparent background on. So I'm going to put a white background just to make it easier for me to see. Just as soon as this cat stops biting me, which she's now escalated to biting my hand anytime I try to put it on the mouse. So pretty soon she's going to find herself outside the door. And then we're going to be screaming, right? We're going to be screaming. Oh, God. Okay. All right, here. Get on your chair, please. Come on. Get on your chair. Please get on your chair. I said please. I thought this would be the easy part, but I forgot how opposed to computer work she is. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Can you please just sit on this chair? Can you just come sit over here on this chair? This chair that I put here specifically for you, that is your chair. The answer is no. The answer is absolutely not. I will never, ever, ever, ever do it. Okay. All right, so the next step is I'm going to go and I'm going to make a white rectangle. Ugh. What is the friggin' problem? Oh, it's because I used the, okay, I understand. I forgot that I used the rectangle to make my line instead of the line tool. So that's what's causing my problem here. I'm currently just, once again, trying to pet the cat. Okay. Hi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. You need to chill or you're going to have to leave the room. Okay? That's just how it is. Yeah, that's just how it is. That is how it is, my man. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So now I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see it a little. Ooh, that's really tight. So we can see a little bit what we're going to get. Okay, so we're not really getting purple. It just looks gray, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, thank you. We're going to go grab a gray from the collection instead then. So I'm going to grab this gray. And this will be the color that we use. So I'm going to grab its hex code. Once we have the color right, it's actually pretty quick to make these notebook pages. It's just getting the color right is not always easy. Just going to put the grid back on. Hi. Yeah. 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 See, like that. Just like that. All right, so now we'll just go down. This is just a shape thing in Photoshop. It has something to do with my not understand. Okay, all right, you're gonna go. Here. On the chair. Okay, I've had enough. Yeah, just sit there. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so now we can take a look. Why do these all have an effect on them? What is the effect on you? Edit layer style. Oh, I think at some point when she was stomping around on the keyboard, she put a shadow on them. All right, so there, just like a green line. So a green line, a gray line. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. When I look at them from here, that one just reads as a thin gray line. So I think we're fine. Okay, so I don't have to do each line individually. I just need to do an inch worth, really. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete all of my shapes. Okay. The only shape I didn't delete is the little white swatch. And that's okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this layer style because I don't want them to have shadows and things. And then we're going to start snapping things to the grid. And what I've done is in Photoshop, I have put the snap to grid on here. So they are going to snap to the 1/4 inch lines. Okay. So once I have two, I can make a 4th. All right, and now I've got my 4 lines. And I'm lining them up, like I said, with the 1/4 inch marks. Then just visually I'm seeing where I have any that might look a little strange, and I'm just making fine adjustments on the ruler. Okay. All right, that's good enough, I think. Okay, so once I've done that, then I'm going to take these and I'm going to merge them so that they're one sheep, and then I'm going to duplicate it. And then I can go like that. And then that gives me 2 inches, and then I'm going to merge those. And then I can duplicate that. And I'm just going to keep kind of doing that. So I can zoom out a little bit now that I have a bigger bit that I'm working on. And then I'm just gonna fine tune. And then at this point, I don't really need to duplicate them. It's not going to save me that much time because it's going to become kind of unwieldy to place. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate again. And then once I've got them all duplicated, it's going to be just a matter of filling in my last inch. So for that, I'm gonna go back to my line tool. And one more. Okay. All right, and now I'm just gonna save this as something, and I think I'm gonna call it, let's call it like notebooks or something. New folder. I'm gonna call it, new folder is gonna be Jack's Notebooks. Save as, I'm just gonna call it like 11 by 17 lines. I try to think of like 11 by 17 lines, and then I'm gonna also call it something like comma, it's gonna be that like comma lined notebook paper. And the reason why is because I don't remember where I put stuff very well, just generally, so I try to think about how I'm gonna search for it later. Okay, so now that we've got our vertical lines, we need to do the same thing, and we're going to just do that with our horizontal lines. So we're just going to swap and make these, it's going to be 17.5 inches. Okay, hold on one second first. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I just had to get, I had to make a new line just because this thing is being, I could tell that it was changing the size of the last one I had done. It was not making like a size just exclusively for a new one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go back into the tool options for the line tool, and now it will change. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now I can get rid of this one and bring up this one. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. Okay. I just want to be able to see that thin gray line in the center of the dark gray line, and that tells me I'm lined up perfectly on that 1/4 inch. Because it's not quite as easy for me to see the rulers on the left, just like visually, it doesn't work as well like for my brain, my individual brain. I don't think it's like a Photoshop failing, you know. And I just want to be as close to the center, as centered on that line as possible. And sometimes you can't quite get it centered, and then when that happens, I just zoom in a few more ticks. And usually then I can adjust it. In this case, I'm not going to be able to, so fine. Fine. No problem, dudes. All right, I hope everyone is having fun with their craft still. Or their editing or their employee training schedules. I think that this is just what you got to do as a pet caretaker, as a cat caretaker. If you ever want to sit down, you're going to need to do cat chair in every room. I'm just going to give Kitty some scritchies for being so quiet and nice and sitting on her chair. Okay, now she got mad at me, so I'm going to stop giving her scritchies. I don't remember how many of these I've done, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just need 2 more. And that'll give me 2 inches. Okay. Now that I have you guys, y'all, all right, so now that I have those, unfortunately, Photoshop has divided my vertical lines and my horizontal lines from each other, so I cannot easily select all my verticals. So I'm just over here in the layers panel finding all of my horizontal ones, and now my horizontal and vertical should all be together. Perfect. Okay. So I'm now going to merge all my horizontal lines together, and I'm just going to rename that shape H for horizontal, so that at least as I duplicate these, I know which it is. All right, and now we're going to zoom in, zoom out 1. All right. And then I can copy that. And then, like I said, once I have this, it should be okay, pretty good to print, because I can just put these in my tray in my printer, and they'll should be able to just print while I clean my desk. And then when I'm done cleaning my desk, we can work on designing the notebook covers. All right, so here I'm having trouble seeing my line. So I just need to zoom in. And then I can zoom out. All right, and then let's see how we're doing in terms of our grid. Okay, so we're pretty close. So I'm just gonna do, we just have the last inch. So I'm just gonna do the last inch manually. 1, 2, 3 for the last inch. Then I can zoom in a scooch more and line them all up. Okay. All right, so now, and it's hard to see, but we'll go ahead and we'll try our best. We're gonna go and say I want to do an unconstrained rectangle. I want to make it white. And then I'm going to put it behind it. This is just so you can see, and so I can see that I have a perfect grid. So what I've done is I've now removed the actual grid, and I just am looking to make sure I still see a grid, you know. So I do still see a full grid, so we're in good shape. If I didn't see a full grid, you know, then that would be a problem. So now what we're going to do is we're going to merge all the shapes together into one new shape, which we're just going to rename grid. Okay. Then what that's going to enable us to do is a couple things. First, I'm just going to layer via cut. Layer via cut. Ugh, we're going to do this again. Okay, fine. I don't know why, but my grid tool is being annoying today. Oh, okay. I do see a gap right here at the top where I did miss a spot. Okay, so that's fine. So all we need to do to fix that, okay, is go back to our tool here. And we just need to make a new line. All right. And I just have to kind of put it right in the middle so that when I rotate it, it's still like reachable by my cursor. Which it's not. Ugh. Okay. All right, so because it's, I'm just gonna, I didn't want to like take the time to resize it and look like now I have to resize it anyway because I didn't take the time. Yeah, okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so you have got to be kidding me. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do my rectangle and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to change the color back to the gray. And then the only thing I need to do is line the line up with the one right under it. So I'm just going to zoom in on this spot where they join. Yeah. Oh, it's too big. That's why it doesn't fit. No, it's not too big. All right. All right, now it goes all the way to the top. That's all that matters. So we're going to merge all these shapes together into one called grid. And this one. No. Okay. Oh, well, that was hard, but we got through it. Okay. All right, so now let's quickly bounce over to the desk and do a little tidying. And then I'm going to pull the printer tray out of the printer and figure out how to make it print 11 by 17 because I have literally never done that before. Oh, okay. What's happening? Oh. What is happening? Sorry about this. I just realized that I never like readjusted it after I switched capture cards. So I never made it look right. Okay. Now it looks like a craft desk. I mean, it did before, but it was like zoomed out a little bit. Not hate this update. Hate this update. Not a fan in the slightest of this update. Exactly. And I pulled out that pilot pen that's sitting on the top when I was writing the notes for the Silent Hill stream. This one. And the thing is, that's what these are. These are the notes from the Silent Hill stream. Um, and they were, um, it was so bad compared to the Rytec. And it has the same, it has the G2 refill in it. So the Pilot G2 I did not like as much as the Rytec pens. So that'll give you an idea of like, I very rarely put a pen over the Pilot pens in terms of like just like an affordable pen you can get. So that was interesting to me. All right, let's go get the big printer tray and the 11 by 17 paper. Yeah, exactly. Goodbye, Pilot. So sorry. But hopefully it will be obvious. But I genuinely don't see how this is going to fit because this does not really look like it could hold. It says it can hold A3. Okay, so, oh, all the way out. Okay. And then all the way down, I guess, question mark. All right, now where did I put my 17-inch paper? What the heck? Okay, that's crazy. All right, think. Where would you have put 1,000 sheets of, oh, there you are. Oh, that was very worrying. I was like, how did I lose all of that paper? Okay, so oh, 11 by 17. Oh, there's instructions. 1, push this in, hold it, oh. Uh-huh. And then it says to push this back up to the 11 by 17 inch line. Amazing. When you read instructions, friends, amazing. Okay, well, we're about to find out if that worked. Oh, you know what? My printer, I have to move my printer, kill me. It's just, okay, it's fine. Oh, okay. Hi, kitty. Yeah. My printer was too close to the wall for this tray to get between the wall and the printer in its extended form. All right, it recognizes it. I'm going to tell it it's 11 by 17 plain paper. All right. Now, because it's in the drawer, I could technically print this duplex. But the thing is that my printer does not do amazing at duplex printing, so I think my best bet is to print the paper and then to print the sorry, to print the paper and then to print the um, front and then print the back. Do not know why I lost my ability to think for a second there, but I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to print 100 copies, which is enough to make 4 notebooks. Let's do 150, which would let's do 70. Yeah, that's enough to make 4 notebooks. So I could make a pack of 3 and 1 mess up. So let's go with that. All right. It's making printer noises. It says, oh, I have to cancel this print job because I forgot. I have my printer set to the, how funny. Okay, I have my printer set to the rear paper feed because I print on such large paper, so I just need to tell it to print from tray 2. Oh my gosh, this is not going well. Okay, so I've canceled that print job. So now I shall print it again with the proper settings. Paper tray 2, paper size 11 by 17, okay. Okay. Print. Okay, so this time it should make printer noises and then just start printing without me needing to go over there and look at it. Made a noise I've literally never heard it make before. That was kind of crazy. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Okay. It seems to be doing great. All right, so let's let it do that. So while we're at it, let's take a look at the stapler. This is a Novus high capacity, low effort catalog stapler. Novus is Dahl. That's who makes it. So this is the B56XL or the Block Heft Grate heavy duty stapler. Up to 170 pages max, but 20 pages min. And it has a insert length of 250 millimeters. All metal design is nice. So let us see. All right. Now, I'm thinking about doing 25 sheets per, and I do believe there's like a, oh, here it is. It's on the back. I was going to say there's like a thing that tells you what kind of staple to use based on how many sheets you're doing. So 20 to 50. So if I was going to do 25, that's where I'd be. They say to use the 23/8s. It comes with 23/10s, but I did see people online recommend this other brand of stapler for this that I did purchase. And not other brand of stapler, but other brand of staple. What is this company called? Rayson or Rayson. 23/6, 23/10, and 23/8. I wonder if 23/6 staplers would even work it. Staples would even work it. Would even work in this stapler because it does not have a listing for that. But we'll try the 23/8. Okay, so let's get, I do have this dotted loose leaf 8.5 by 11 we can experiment with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's my 25 sheets. Oh, are we having a bad day over here? My printer doesn't have a paper holder tray anymore because the cats broke it from trying to take naps in it. So it just kind of flings the paper onto my table, and sometimes it creates a little paper mountain and stresses itself out. So I just need to kind of periodically come over and help it out a little bit. All right, so we need a cover for this. Do I have anything already printed? I mean, I have just plain cardstock, but that's not very... Oh, I have an idea. I'll be right back. I'm leaving the room, but you're coming with me because the microphone is also leaving the room. But I'm going to secondary paper storage because what do I want? I want something that's going to journal vibes or like voyage vibes, you know. I'm just looking at stuff I already have printed. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I think I have a sheet in here that has like cassette tapes on it. Yeah, here it is. Oh, kind of like that though, yeah? Let's go with this. Okay. All right. But I want to make custom planner pages because what I want to do is find like a page that's almost okay. So these are going to be, when they're folded in half, they're going to be 8.5 by 11 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut it to 8.5. And I'm going to get, all right, I'm going to score this. And I'm going to score this in half. All right, I'm not trimming it down, so it's still 12 inches. So this is 6 inches, so it's going to be bigger than the paper. All right. Now, with the paper, I have a couple options on scoring it. One is, I could score it or not score it, essentially. Those are the options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the edges of the paper into the side of my scoreboard, and then I can use my bone folder to score all 5 of them at once. And you can do this, you don't need a scoreboard to do this. If you can do this with any like corner you can make, you know what I mean? If you don't have scoring tools, if you don't have a bone folder and things like that, okay, you can use just a pen. I'll do that now. It's gonna require a little bit more hand strength, but you know, just hold it, and then you're gonna take this and push it straight down, and then push it away from you, and then pull it towards you, and you're still gonna get that crisp edge as if you have a score. So I always recommend for burnishing a score, if you don't have a Is the audio still okay? Okay, sorry. Is the audio issue continuing? Or has it improved since I rejoined the room? Oh, it's fine now. They just said hi. Excellent. Must have gotten a little too far away from them when I left the room to get the paper. All right, so all right. Okay, so I've got everybody scored. And now we're gonna get them all lined up with each other. To get stapled. Now people say you can operate the stapler with just 2 fingers. And I'm hoping that's correct because the replacement took less time to get here than the original. I mean, the original never arrived. But the replacement got here almost immediately. Like, it was so fast, it was scary. Okay. So now that they're scored, I'm just going to kind of flatten them out. And then we're going to take this and line it up on top. And now I need to set this to 6 1/4, and it's in millimeters. So I'm going to have to do, actually just had an idea. Oh, okay. I guess I should put staples in it. Okay. All right, so if I want, all right, I need to be at basically 14. Ooh. Why is this suddenly not working? What the heck? All right. Hold on, let me look in the box. Maybe I need to lock that back in. Okay. All right, so I've got it pretty much where I think it needs to be. I'm just gonna test. It's trying to tell me something. Definitely trying to tell me something in German here. So it's got two types of feet, curled feet and flat feet, and I want flat feet, and it's on flat feet. So I actually need to go farther back than where I estimated before by about an inch, I would guess, but Okay, so I need it to be like right here. So that's 15 and a half. Okay. Oh my gosh. Are we about to have a notebook? Imagine. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use clothespins on the side that's not going into the stapler. Oops. To try and hold everybody together. I keep a little thing of clothespins on my desk because it's a way to get yourself extra hands. So, all right. Okay, I'm going to staple. Oh my God. Okay, so it did not staple in the right spot, and I think I need to go to a bigger stapler or a bigger staple size. So I think I'm going to go to the next size up. So it staples like right on that edge. But that's okay because it didn't do that good of a job of curling the feet over because it is too much paper. So my guess is like the size, the thickness of your paper, and because this paper is, ooh, just put a splinter of metal in me. Let me get this splinter out real quick. All right, got it. Okay. I'm now splinter free. The splinter came from the end of the staple. Now I have lost my tweezers. Which I literally just used to take the splinter out. Oh, I put them away. That's how I lost them. All right. Okay. All right, we got the staple out. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go from the 8s to the 10s. And they did send 10s with the stapler, so I will use their brand. Where did I put the box of the 8s? I have the 6s and the 10s. Crazy. Okay, wow. Honestly, just don't know how this happens to me. Like, it's not like I went anywhere. You know, I just want to put you back in your box. But I hid your box from me, so okay, cool. Guess we'll just have a loose staple. But more importantly, I don't have any size 8 staples. All right. All right. Better. Better. All right. I'm just going to flatten them that extra little bit. And then just to make sure I am using the correct type of stapler, for the second one, I'm going to staple it on, I want to try the other type of staple. But I'm not sure how to do that change. So I don't think we will. Oops, got that staple off. Okay. It's not so perfectly easy to line this up. So what I will say that I did that I would maybe recommend against doing is my cover's a little long. And I did that so I could trim the edges down. But I think that may just be causing me more problems than it's solving. But we'll see. It could just be that I don't, because I also just don't know what I'm doing. But it's luckily not that difficult to fix these. All right. So I think part of my issue is this one. Okay. That's exactly the same distance away on the other side. So I am going to have to get good about setting that, making everything the exact finished size I want it to be. And then basically I like to trim things down after to give myself a little bit of room. but I think just for it to be really work right, at least until I get like a good sense for how, like where exactly that line is. I've got to kind of, all right, perfect. Okay, so now we've got to fold it back. Okay, so one thing I'll say already is I don't think that 25 sheets, at least of something this thick, is necessarily desirable, because this is making quite a fat notebook, but it is, in fact, a notebook. Yeah? It is. It is. It is. It is. Okay. Let me trim it down. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my ruler up where I want it. I'm going to put this piece of cast iron. This is a bacon press. And I actually think I want to come back from the edge ever so slightly. I mean, ideally what I'd do is I'd line it up with where the edges start to fan and cut there, which I could do. Let's do that. All right. Oops. Okay, so this is cast iron, and it's just gonna allow me, if I lean my whole weight on it, it's just, it's gonna help me cut. It's okay if the cast iron moves. It's not okay if, I hope my head's not in the way. Okay, I think it'll be easier if I use a regular knife. No, it's not. It's definitely not gonna be. Am I getting anywhere? No. Okay, so we are going to have to use a regular knife. Okay, that's fine. Rotary trimmer, you have really failed. You have failed to produce results. When you trim like this, okay, all right. When you trim like this, you want to just do a little bit at a time. You're not trying to go all the way through all at once. wish. There we go. All right. Wow, what is... Okay, so this is just because it's just too thick. But damn, this is annoying. Because it's like 3 pages too thick, but those 3 pages are wreaking havoc. Okay. Whew. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to... Nope. It is mad as heck. Okay. Only way out is through now, friends. Okay, so I think the thing to do is probably to do this ruler. It has a crack in it at like exactly the spot that I'm having the most problems. So I wonder if it's the ruler. Okay. It's not perfect, but we're getting there. All right. So, like I said earlier, a huge part of this is just like, okay. All right, so the first half is kind of done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bad ruler back. I'm going to flip it around. And I'm just going to cut based on its own, like, cut starting with the inside. Okay. Nope. So a lot of times when you're crafting, especially when you're trying something new, things just like don't go well. And if you can just kind of be like, well, you know, you got to be bad at something before you can be good at something. This is just the process. Then that'll be helpful. But in this particular case, it's just real bad, friends. All right, so, okay, perfect. We have a notebook now. We're just gonna accept that this notebook is the practice notebook. And I think that that is good because If this had happened with paper I had just printed, that would be much more upsetting than this cheap paper I bought to experiment with. All right, now, things that we've learned. 25 sheets of paper is too many sheets, so I would say 12. 12, 13, maybe even 15. If you wanted 50 sheets, like front, back, whatever, that'd be 12. So 13. So, okay. All right. Let's check in. All right. So Erin has finished 3 trainee schedules. Thank God. Yes. Thank God. And thank Erin for working on those 3 trainee schedules. The stapler is crazy. Like the stapler has the same proportions as a regular stapler, but like when you put it next to something, it is crazy. A bacon press is, some people like their bacon not to curl, to be totally flat, and that helps it get fully crispy, like for people who like really crispy bacon. And so there are these pieces of cast iron that are like, I think I weighed this once and it weighs like somewhere around 8 pounds, something like that, with handles on them, and you just set them on the piece of bacon on the grill. Or burgers, you can use it to press burgers, people use it to press steaks, that kind of thing. And I find they work great for holding things, helping hold things for me. Yeah, it's just too thick is the problem. It's just way too thick. So now we know you cannot be that thick. And you wouldn't really necessarily want it that thick anyway, especially if the goal is, in my case, to use a system like Traveler, Midori, Louise Carmen, where it's all about having multiple notebooks that do different things for you, instead of trying to have the one notebook that's going to do everything that you need. And so to that end, I think what people really want to end up with possibly is, if you do 25 sheets, that gives you 100 front and back sheets, because you get 4 times the number of individual papers is the number of pages, because you have page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. Those all are from this one sheet. So 25 would get you 100, but 13 will get you 50, and I think 13 would be a lot happier with. And then something like 8 would get you around 25 if you wanted 25. And you could do different ones depending on different page amounts, depending on what your plans are. But like, say you wanted 1 page for each day of the year, so that'd be 52, or each week of the year rather. So that'd be 52 divided by 4. So 13. So 13 seems to be a pretty good number. And then you could bump that maybe to 14 to give yourself like a 4-page and a back page, you know, if you didn't want to just start on page 1 with week 1. Okay, so perfect. While we were doing that, we finished printing over here. And things are looking great. Things are looking pretty great. Pretty great. So let me just bring the stack over. Ah, look at this. Love. Okay. All right. So now we've just got to straighten these, and then back in they go. And then while they're printing, we'll design some covers. All right. All right. Looks like we have some sheets that are just stubborn. This is coated side down. Okay, I thought so. So I thought that this printer printed upside down, so I need to put these printed side up when I put them back in. So it prints on like the underside of whatever's put in the drawer. All right. Oh, should we make a heated rivalry notebook for Erin? Should we design that? No, we'll design something. We'll design something normal. We don't need to encourage the brain rot anymore. All right. So I'm going to put these printed side facing me. So I have a note on this drawer that says coated side down because I use this kind of coated paper in there just to remind me. And if it says coated side down, that's going to be because it prints on whatever side is down. That's why I would have put it there. All right. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and print that. And then we'll go and... Oh, I found the staple box. It was on the floor. That's a great place for a staple box. Great place for a staple box. All right, now... let's go back to Photoshop. Let's print this again. All right, so Photoshop. Is this here? Yeah. Okay. All right, what do we think? We've got these lilies, this with the coral. I really like this dark and moody one. Or this dark and moody one. Let's go with this maroon. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? All right. Sorry, I had to go be firm with the printer. Okay, all right, so now we need to open, not open, we need to create a new sheet that's 8.5 by 11. Okay, what? I want to die. Why? Okay. God, that was so hard. Okay, 8.5 by 11. Rotate 90 degrees. Fit on screen. Okay, now, when I'm Maybe I like this orange. Okay. We're gonna stick with this. I'm just gonna commit to it. All right, now one thing I do when I am designing something like this, okay, is I'm gonna make a rectangle that's half the size of this. Okay, so in this case, it's gonna be 5.5 by 8.5. And this rectangle is the rectangle that I'm gonna use to center things on the cover. You're not gonna see it, but it's just gonna give me something to center things with on the cover. All right, now I'm gonna resize this to be a resolution of 300 and a height of 8.5. Okay? All right. Then what, sorry, image resize. I need to constrain proportions so that it also changes the width when I change the height. Okay. All right. All right, now with this, I'm gonna crop it to 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm gonna make like a crop window that's 8.5 by 5.5, and then I'm just gonna say, where do I want my cover centered? Like, do I want my cover to be mostly this purple flower? Do I want my cover to be mostly this white flower, right? I think we'll go with this white flower, so I can say okay. And now I can drop this over here, and I can put that there. All right. Then I can come back over here and press Control Z. And then I can do the same thing, but for the back cover. It's the same thing. I'm going to make a crop that's 8.5 by 5.5, and then I'm just going to move it until I like it. And for that, I'm going to focus on the back cover. And I'm going to say okay. And then I can take that and drag that over here. And this is the back cover. All right, and when you do these, the back cover and the front cover are the back cover is on the left and the front cover is on the right. Okay, so this, ew, 2 hours of work is disgusting. All right, so I'm gonna pick up this kind of hot magenta color, this deep hot magenta, and I'm gonna pull that out as an accent color. And I wanna make, I think I wanna make a shape so that we can put a like title on this. I'm gonna look at frames and see if I like any of the frame shapes. Yeah, I like this one right here, I think. So, all right, yeah, that's cute. That's cute. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take that shape and the shape earlier, that gray shape that I made that is hidden, and I'm gonna center them on each other. Okay, and that way I know that this pink circle is in the center of my notebook. And now I'm just gonna it's so flowy. The shapes should kind of be, we could do it. Do you want to do really, I have paint splatters, like smears of paint. Do you want something like paint smeary? I'm gonna put a bevel on this to give it like a roundedness. I've beveled it, so that's gonna give it like almost like a puffy sticker bit of a vibe. And then if we want to help it stand out from the background just a little bit, we can try using this white. It's not a white, it's a cream. We can try using this cream as a outline for it. Yeah, and actually when I take the grid down, it'll help a lot because seeing through the grid makes it look kind of crazy as well. All right, so I'm gonna edit this layer. I'm gonna put a stroke on it. It's called stroking. And I'm gonna, let's try 10 pixels. I don't like it at all, actually. Do not, would I like it at 5 pixels? No. No, I don't like it. So we're not gonna stroke it. Okay, so now I need something to go in the middle, right? But, so I'm gonna get I'm gonna go back to the shape tool and I'm gonna make an oval. It's, where's Jenny? I know, poor Jenny, she missed it. All right, let's see how this looks. All right, so I'm gonna just zoom in on this a little bit. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, so what I wanna do is I wanna get these ovals to kind of match up. And I'm gonna need, I wanna say I need the skew. Is it skew that I need? Yeah. It's skew. All right. Yeah. Okay. So now I have this like central piece. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and duplicate this layer. And then I'm gonna just shrink it so that it and then I'm gonna change the color. All right. I don't think I need the additional shape. I think I could just change the shape of this, or change the color of this one, and that is maybe gonna give us the, yeah, okay. All right, so now what we need to do is, what I need to do is we're gonna put some, all right, let's use, I'm gonna use, okay, so stuff, there we go. Let's just put a gentle little shadow on there to help it out. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, so we're gonna have to change the font size to accommodate things. So, all right, and now I'm gonna duplicate things. Okay, so now I can center the and on the uh, beige circle in the middle. And then once I've done that, I can move stuff and things where I think they look good. Which is like right there. And I'm just gonna make sure that stuff and things are in the middle. I'm gonna use the middling tool. Stuff and things. Okay, perf. Now, because this is a seamless pattern and we used the left edge and the right edge, they blended into each other, and that's why I have like this really nice, there's not even really a crease in the middle at all. You can see it looks like one continuous design even though I chopped it up. So I think what we do is we leave it here. Well, do we like stuff and things big, or would it be funnier if we did stuff and things and stuff smaller? I do like stuff and things. Okay, I think we'll just do this. So I'm going to now print this. So I'm going to open a new sheet of my Super Bee, it's called. That's the paper size, that 13 by 19 that I use all the time. What if one was small? Oh yeah, that could be funny. All right, what we can do is I'm gonna do okay. So what we'll do is we'll do stuff and things, and then we'll make a second one that's tiny and all lowercase that says and things and stuff. So if this is 36, let's try 8. Oops. Okay, and then let's drop it to 12, which would be like a third. Okay, oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna zoom in on this a little bit. Oop. I don't think it needs to be quite this tiny. So we can go up to, let's try 18, which would be half the size. Ooh, let's add parentheses. I think that'll make it funnier. Yeah. There we go. Stuff and things and stuff. So now I'm going to pull and things and stuff down as far as I can. And then everything else will get adjusted based on that. Okay. Okay. Oh, you were thinking stuff and things and oh. Do we want and things and stuff on 2 lines? So that's 2 lines, 1 line, 2 lines, 1 line. I think I like 2 lines. You prefer the lowercase to the upper? Do you want to see what this looks like in large lowercase? Because we could do that too. Well, and let's do and things and stuff as 1 line. I think with the lowercase, it works better as 2 lines because the large font size is not as heavy in the lowercase on the eye as it was before. So yeah, let's go with this. Stuff and things and things and stuff. Okay. Perfection. Okay, now we can go ahead and I'm gonna flatten it out and we're gonna drag it onto our print sheet. Okay. And I gotta bring the grid back up for this. Okay. So I'm gonna put this a 1/2 inch in from the top and the left edge. And now we have to work on the reverse of it, what goes inside, what's gonna go inside of it, okay? We've recovered for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in here and the color that I'm like kind of thinking I want to somehow get on the inside is this pinkish mauvish kind of color that's on these flowers here, okay? So I think what we'll do, I wanna say I might be able to do something with this where I can change it to be pink and mauve. And if I can, I will. If I can, I will. So I think one thing I can do is I can pull this darker purplish color here. Okay. And then go over to this pattern. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop it onto a dark blue line and just hope, okay, so that did not work. I was like, we'll just hope, I'm gonna remove the grid so we can see. I was like, maybe I'll get lucky and it's all interconnected, but it's not really. So we're gonna go in a different direction. Which is, I'm gonna go back over and grab that more pink, lighter pinkish purple. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put like a square of it over the top of this. And then I'm gonna drop the opacity to like 50. All right. I think we could go 75 maybe. No. 50 is better. Let's try 60. Yeah. I think 60. Okay. Perfect. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna resize this to be, I want a resolution of 300. For printing, 300 is the lowest resolution you want. And if you're sending it out to be printed, like if you're paying someone to print it for you, 600. Okay, 600. All right, and then for the width I want to be a ½ inch bigger than my cover. So my cover is 11, so I want it to be 11 and a half. And then I'm gonna say, okay. And then I just need to cut it down to 8.5 by 11. And then what I'm gonna do is this will enable me to say, like, do I like the bottom more than the top? Oh yeah, if the background is a light color, that like low opacity shape trick helps me a lot. All right, so I'm gonna draw, oh no, wait, but I don't want it to be 8.5, I want it to, by 11, I want it to be 9 by 11 and a half. So let me change my crop shape to 9 by 11 and a half. Yeah, the bottom is definitely better. Yeah, the bottom is definitely better. I'm glad we're all in agreement. That helps a lot. All right. So, oops. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this over here. And I'm going to put it behind this so it's in the same place on the print sheet. And it was actually super convenient of the printer to finish its print job just now, so we can go straight into printing this. When I go to print this, my first print, I'm going to close the eye in the layers on that, that inside sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so I'm basically hiding that layer. And so when I print this, I'm going to print it without that layer showing first. So I'm going to go print, and then I have a setting in my advanced settings, which is called Super B High Quality, which is exactly like what it sounds like. It's for printing high quality on a Super B sheet. And that way I never have to mess with my settings. When I go to print something like this, I literally can just go to that and hit print. So if you do a lot of printing at home, that's one thing I can recommend to save yourself some time, is to like make settings of your most common settings. Okay. So now I'm going to take one of my thick sheets. So I have thick sheets and thin sheets, but I do have this like kind of really heavy cover weight paper that I'm going to use. So it's the thickness of like a cardstock is what I'm going for. It says it's 66 pounds. I've got to be honest, pounds is not, is kind of like, it feels more like 80 to me, but what it is 250 GSM, and I do believe that that 250 GSM is always more accurate than pounds whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, okay? All right, so all right, so now I'm going to stick that sheet in. All right, and it's going to start printing it. And I'm just going to get all my my gridded paper. I guess it's gridded, not lined. All right, I'm just trying to get some semblance of control on my crazy paper pile here. All right. But yes. Okay, so we got that. It's printing. All right, now when I go to print the back, okay, this is what I do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this image on the horizontal axis. So I'm going to go to rotate, flip horizontal. And that's just because I know when I go to put this in my printer to print on the back, this is how it'll be on the underside of the sheet, if that makes sense, okay? And so what that's going to allow me to do is I can take the layer that's the inside, and now I put it over that so it's covering it, so now it's not going to be shown. And then I flip this layer horizontal to get it facing the right direction again. Now it doesn't matter with this layer because this layer is geometric and or inorganic, and there's not really a top, bottom, front, left, right, or whatever. But I like to do it even when I don't need to, so that it's always a part of my habit, so I don't forget when it matters, when there's like writing on it or anything like that. All right, so now what I can do is I can just print this again, and it'll print on the back, and it'll line up perfectly for our notebook. Yeah, this is an end paper. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We're making a faux end paper by printing an end paper like pattern onto the back of the cover. All right, it's in. So we're going to go back to the desk so that we can prep our inner pages. So, all right. All right, so what did we say, 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I really only need like 10 because I have to cut it in half. So even 10 is too many, or well, not too many, but more than I need. If we do 13, that'll give us 56 pages. So a page for each week plus a little extra, or, you know, at least 50 pages for whatever it is you're doing. With something like stuff and things and things and stuff, you know, the actual discrete number of pages probably does not matter. All right. And there are a few at the end with issues. So I'm just going to make sure those are on the top so the ones with issues aren't used accidentally before I have a chance to go through and, you know, deal with them. Like if the issues, like for example, like this. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Let me get, yeah. These are going inside my Le Dupe, so it doesn't have to be thick at all. Yeah. All right. So, perfect. All right. Now we've got our sheet. Ideally, you let this dry before you go to use it, but it'll have whatever time it takes me to cut these, and then we're gonna do it. So we have our completed piece. All right. Now I just want to measure this paper because the last time I cut it at 8.5, okay. I was gonna say the last time I cut it at 8.5, it wasn't quite perfectly in half, but it seems like it is, so I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, cut one. I'm cutting 3 sheets at a time because that's like the max number of sheets that mine can cut and stay clean on the cuts. If I cut much more than that, they start getting a little raggedy. All right. Last one. All right. So I'm gonna fold these up. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 20 sheets cut. These sheets are thinner than the others, but I'm gonna leave it to 15, I think, just to be on the safe side. But I will fold these with the rest of them. Okay, so here's, yeah, see, this is a big thickness in the paper change. So I could add those others, but as it is, this is giving us, what I do, 15. This is 45 sheets. This would take us to 49, and if I added this, that would take us over 50. Let's just do it. It's on my desk, whatever. These sheets are so thin, I think we'll be fine. In fact, I think we're going to need to go back down to the size 8 that it said we would need in the beginning. All right. Okay, so this is now done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it by just kind of rolling it against its score line, and then folding them all together again. I'm trying to get them like so that they feel like one stack of whatever versus 5 stacks of 3, or 3 stacks of 5, or whatever it is. Okay. All right, so we're gonna switch our staples again. Oh no, we gotta get the lid. The lid. All right. So here's the cover to stuff and things and things and stuff. Oh, she's pretty. Look how good of a match we have with the paper as well. And when I print where I use less than half a sheet like this, I have a paper box for things that are to reprint if I'm just going to print something else small, like a card or a tag or something. I'll go to that little sort of printer scrap box. So it's still gonna get used. All right. Erin's pivoted to laundry. All right, so I'm just gonna put this in my scrap box. And there's our inside. All right, so the only thing now is, ooh, I don't know where my seam is, so let me just score this. All right. So I'm just gonna score this down the middle. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we have to pop out the staples that are in it. And we'll put them back in their box. And replace with these 8s, because I think these 8s are going to be thick enough now. Now that we're not using such a thick paper. We didn't get all the way through. So this stapler has a technology where it's designed, I think, to like it's to prevent it from jamming. Sometimes it, well, jams, but in a way where it's like you're supposed to be able to just pull the staple out of it. I just am looking for my friggin' pliers. Where are you guys? Just because I don't have the grip to really pull like a... Okay. All right, so here's this, the whole stapler came out, so I think we're okay. Yeah, it's supposed to jam it in a way where it's you can't staple another time, I guess is basically it. All right. All right, so now we're just gonna work with the spine a little bit. Now you'll see this extra paper that comes out. That's just physics, I guess, is what's responsible for that. So essentially what's happening with that paper fanning is the papers that are on the inside are shorter. The pages of a book that are on the inside are shorter than the ones on the outside. Because you can see they're extending past the cover, right? And that's just because they're, you know, a couple millimeters farther into the book. And so that extra paper has to go somewhere. So now all I have to do is just trim it off. And this time my trimming should go fine. Oh yeah. I've collected a lot of random stuff over the years for sure. Like just when I was getting ready for Thanksgiving and I was cleaning out an area, I found my Type O wire binder. And I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Oh. Okay, so this can happen. All right. So see how like on the back it looks perfect, but on the front there's still a little bit showing? That's okay. We just have to trim it again from the front, you know? I mean, we don't have to. If you like the look of the pages peeking out, you don't have to trim. But I know not everybody does. Sometimes it's easier with this kind of knife than with the rotary trimmer. All right, we just have the cover. Ooh. All right. Yeah, my version of deckled edges. That's how they do deckled edges now. So they don't use a decal to make deckled edges anymore. They just leave the edges raw and then don't trim them. A decal is a tool for creating paper, and a technique for creating paper is to use a decal. The decal is just the name of the tool. And the tool leaves a feathery edge on the paper. So when you have a stack of deckled edge papers together, it has this like unfinished feathery edge, kind of like you would imagine from like a spell book or a fantasy book or something like that look, that feathery ragged edge. And so it used to be, originally to get deckled edges on a book, they would use decals to make the paper. And that's very, excuse me, it's very labor intensive now in today's age. So then they used where they would just die cut paper to have an edge that was feathery that looked like a decal. And then that's still labor intensive compared to just leaving a raw edge and not trimming it. Leaving a raw edge and not trimming it is less work than making a regular book. So now the way they're making deckled edges is like, to me, it just looks unfinished because I know that it is unfinished, kind of, so I don't like it at all, at all. I don't like it. Oh my gosh. Look how beautimous. And we have our end papers. The center with the staple is laying flat. And then our other end paper. So we did it. We got a notebook. What's crazy is, I don't know, oh my gosh, what the? Do you need a notebook? There's a ladybug on my desk. Hello, ladybug. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We're just finishing up, actually. I was going to say that it's now getting, my notebook is getting quality assurance from this ladybug here. But a lot of the time consumption of what I did today is from, hey, do you want to hang out? What's up? Yeah, check out the notebook. Check it out. Let me know what you think. The most time consuming part was like dealing with the paper. Now that I have a big stack of the paper made, it'll go a lot faster, right? Because if you're wondering what is going on with the ladybug, this time of year in the part of Georgia I live in, ladybugs hibernate in people's attics. And it's just like, it's very normal, and they just do it. But it's really wild because like you'll open your door and there'll just be like a swarm of ladybugs flying at your house and all over your windows and things, and they're just trying to get into your attic. And then that's where they stay over winter, is they just sleep up there, I guess. And so what can happen is sometimes some of them wander out of the attic, and that's what's going on. So I just leave them be because I know they'll go back to the attic, and this is just like kind of normal. But the first time it happened, I had to look it up because I was like, why is there a swarm of ladybugs trying to take over my house, But anyway, the most time consuming part was doing the paper. But now that I have the paper, I can just make a bunch of notebooks real quick. Next time I have a notebook sesh. But like, imagine another notebook with from the same collection of designs that was things and stuff and stuff and things. That would be so cute. And yeah, let me stick this in the Leduc because I have the Leduc prototype right here. So this is the Leduc prototype. I And I have a strand right here in the front I can put it on. All right, so this is how it will look in a La Dupe. Ah! I mean, it looks incredible. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. This is gonna be amazing. All right. Okay, so now we have the notebook proof of concept, the stapler. I need to work on the stapler a little bit more, just like my general knowledge and understanding of it. But I think the stapler is going to make this process very easy compared to hand sewing. It's certainly going to save my decrepit joints. Okay. But yeah, here's my, oh, she's getting thick too. Oh, I love it when it looks so thick like this. Ah! I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. All right, let's, so open it. Open, open. So we've got pen case. And I did get these tiny pens to go in here. Pilot makes these mini pens that are, of course, now that I hate Pilot, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Pilot makes these mini pens. Oh, let me see if the Rytec will fit. Let me see if the Rytec's gonna fit. But yeah, I should be able to make a notebook in just a few minutes if I don't have to design the paper. Now that we've got everything set up. Oh my gosh, watch me display all this competency using all these tools and then not be able to open a box of pens. that was really something. So, okay. All right, we just want to see if one of these will fit in the zipper pouch, like maybe on an angle. Ah! Okay. Oh. While we're at it, let's see if tabs from Mr. Pen will fit in there as well. No, but maybe if I cut their pieces, maybe. Okay, so sticky index tabs. I think that's the one. That's the... All right, so I was thinking that the plastic thing's just a scooch too big. But let me trim the plastic and see if I can get it small enough to go in. All right. I think after I cut it down, we'll be okay. I didn't get all the way through, but I can just finish the cut with my scissors. All right. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. Oh my gosh. Is this the best pen? No, I think this is the best pen. Sickening. Sickening. Ugh. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. We accomplished a lot because this is the 7th. So now we're less than 20 streams to go to meet my deadline. So we may have many more days of notebook making together ahead of us. But I hope you all loved whatever you crafted today. We still have to make the Leduc as well. So we've got, I've got plenty of ideas. Because we are going to do someday when I'm feeling like more with it. I have a migraine today, unfortunately. But a day when I'm doing more with it, we will make the Leduc together. I think that'll be fun too. But I just need 100% of my brains. And Mr. Penn always comes with a mustache. I'm just going to put that in there just to be funny. Okay, so I need to figure out like my planner notebooks, the ones that are like more specific, but I love you. Ooh, it even looks good. Like just the designs are so pretty. Okay, I have so many designs from this guy. I have one that's all just cherries, different cherry patterns. And I also have one that's just lemons, different lemon patterns. And I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got some vintage stuff, some like kind of more boho stuff like this, more abstract geometric, like kind of stuff. So lots of options for different sets. But I think a set of like notebooks, well, and you could do, if you're making your own, right? Like, let's say you want a Baldur's Gate one or whatever, you could print a Baldur's Gate wallpaper to use as a cover that you found online or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have like official designs that you bought licenses for or whatever to just make yourself a notebook. You know what I mean? I mean, you probably do legally. Oh, here's the G2 mini pens. That I don't need because the Rytech will fit. But here they are. That's it compared to a regular Pilot. So it is quite a bit shorter. But no longer needed. No longer needed. All right. Okay. I had this, I can't find it. I'm really frustrated about this. I found this brass clip with a loop of leather on it that I was going to use as a pen clip, and I swear I bought it, but I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm like, did I hallucinate buying it? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, you know? So, I don't know, but I just have been looking for it and I can't find it. Should we see if a mild liner fits? Let's look. Let's see if a mild liner fits. Because if a mild liner fits, probably a Sarasa will fit too, right? They're about the same size. Or Sarasa. Sarasa. All right. We may not be as lucky. Oh. Hey. We got her. We did. Okay. So, Right Tech pens and mild liners fit, and really, that's a great start. And that's fit in this specific pouch that I ordered. But, you know, oh, this is going to be a fun time. Okay. All right. What in the hay? I'm just going to take this pen off since now we have pens inside. Well, I'm actually going to take the mild liner out so that it's with my other mild liners. Since they're a set of colors. But, yeah, they fit. So, perfection. Ah, well, Jack, thank you very much for the idea, for the inspiration. You inspired me to make some notebooks today, so I will, let me just switch back over to the main camera. Hey. Hey, buddy. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, that's better. You're a little close though. Can you like back up a little bit maybe? No? Okay, you're just gonna stay right there. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I like you being that close. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, so we made a notebook. We've got our grid paper design done. I need to still make like a dot. I do still want to do like a dot grid. But, and then of course I have to just like think about what I want to do for my planner notebooks. So the notebooks that I want to use for planners or inspiration or note taking or whatever. What do I want to call, like, what do I want those pages to look like and things like that? But aside from that, I think I'm in good shape to be able to make a bunch of them, which is so exciting, so exciting, so exciting. So honestly, I'm really happy with this. I struggle with creativity sometimes in for things that I consider to be personal. And that's just because, like, I think with all the stress, sometimes with the stress, it's hard to be creative. And I kind of feel like I have to reserve, like, my little bits of creativity for work. But I think if I would stop doing that and just be creative when I kind of want to and, like, not worry about, like, it being a finite resource, because it's probably not. Like, it's probably not. Probably the reason why I struggle to be creative with work is because it's work. You know what I mean? Not because there's like a finite amount of creativity I'm capable of. And so I just need to be like less in my like mind about things, I think. And just like have fun when I want to have fun. So that's a good lesson for me personally. I'm just saving my cover design and my notebook grid because that would be real sad for me if I lost either of those. So but yeah, I'm gonna make more notebooks. I've got to do the planner pages. I've got to do, like, I want to kind of think about, this is going to be some thinking on my part, like what kind of planners do I want to make for myself and things like that. And then then yeah, I really can just make them. So yeah, we're gonna work on the dupe together. We're gonna have like a day where I have plenty of time and plenty of energy. We'll do a Leduc stream and we'll make the thing out of the leather. And then I'm also gonna to burn off some of these 20. We're gonna do more Silent Hill, and then also probably some reading sprints because I do feel like reading is coming back to me. So just recently I was thinking about kind of a complex book that I wanted to read. And so I thought, oh, maybe I'm becoming literate once again. So it only took a year, but I am becoming literate once again, friends. So I think we'll be okay. Yes. This is a really good idea. Wait, where's my chat thing? So I can highlight here. Oh, here it is. I forgot. I put it by the craft desk. um, Making a set like the cloth and paper one with all the different styles, especially because when I was just looking, so what the hell is your problem? Like, why are you so obsessed with me today? Whoa. Okay. Can you calm down? What it, what? All right. So, yeah, I when you're using like a lot of problem solving, creativity, pivoting, brainstorming, yeah, it can be tough to have like the energy for the kind of creativity that actually like recharges you and that you actually enjoy doing. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so if you don't know, the cloth and paper planner, they have a set of traveler's style or size notebooks that are like it's Kanban, Pomodoro, and two other planner systems style. So it's like four. I think it's four. But yeah, and when I was looking through it, the one that jumped out at me the most, that would be like the most useful for me personally, was the Kanban one, and I've never really looked at or thought about their planner system. So it made me curious. So I do think I might actually dupe a few of these out and try them because that set really kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I may not even realize what would be good for me and what would work for me. So, for sure. I think it was bullet journaling was one of them, like the original sort of standard bullet journal style that the guy who came up with the system, like what he was doing when he came up with the system. So maybe the getting things done, who knows? But anyway, I'm gonna skedaddle. But once again, let's just celebrate that a notebook was created. Like, we started today with no notebook, and now we have stuff and things and things and stuff. Now we have notebook. And our notebook has end papers, fancy end papers, and a grid to write in. So we did great. We did great. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. The schedule is going to be erratic. My main thing I would recommend is just having notifications on, because I don't know when they're going to happen, but I am kind of feeling like I want to really make a push to do it, to do the 20. So even though that's crazy and unnecessary and it was an arbitrary goal that I set for myself and there's no consequences for missing it, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. So you'll see me a lot. So thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.